What's up? It's Blake the WebbHead, and I'm bringing you another episode of WebbHead News. Today, I'm going to be talking about just a few subjects that have been unveiled, so to speak, recently. Talk about a few games, some gaming news, and then I'm going to jump over and do a little bit of movie news. First up, on the agenda, Dota 2 is out. It's been released. I think it's free, actually. I did some reading and I saw the word free several times, so I'm pretty sure that the game's free. So definitely look that up. It's, if anyone's played the first Dota, you've been awaiting this one for quite some time, and I'm pretty sure you will not be disappointed. It's actually been taking forever. I personally have been waiting for this game for years and years, and RTSs have come out since then, and I've been trying to adapt, trying to play these new games, and trying to, I guess, fill that void that Dota has left empty because of the lack of the release of Dota 2, but Dota 2's here. I'm excited. Can't wait to play it. This weekend, on my days off, I will be playing Dota 2. And I will be coming back to you guys to let you know how it is. I'm most likely going to try to do a video on Dota 2 when I get the chance. I've been a little busy between moving and my new job, so I haven't been able to put up a lot of videos lately. I'm still working on the Last of Us review video that I'm doing. It's about finished. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it now, and hopefully in the next couple of days I'll have it up and ready for you guys to view. Another game. For those of you who are artists, thinkers, puzzle solvers, Scribblenauts Unmasked DC Heroes Adventure, I believe is the name of the game. This game involves drawing, spelling, and the imagination, all mixed, and then with DC heroes thrown in. That's awesome. Another game. Speaking of DC, we're all in DC. Infinite Crisis, Scribblenauts DC Adventures. Warner Brothers is starting to do pretty well, along with those movies that are coming out. But let's go back to what I was going to talk about. Injustice. A new hero or a new character is going to be revealed this weekend at the Evil Fighting Game Tournament. There's no news on what it is. Your guess is as good as mine, but we'll find out in a few days. And along with that new character, there's going to be a skin that's also released. Also going to be a surprise. I love surprises. How did I even forget? Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Get this. GameStop is no longer taking pre-orders for the PlayStation 4. They're sold out. They have no more units available, and they do not know when they'll have any more available for pre-orders. So, for those of you that were looking forward to reserving your PlayStation 4 at GameStop, try Amazon or Walmart or Target or any other retailer that you shop at, because GameStop is not going to be one of those places where you can get it. Xbox One. Best Buy is sold out. They've exhausted their stock of pre-orders, and they will no longer be selling pre-orders for the Xbox One. And again, Target, Walmart, any of those other retailers, try those places. I'm pretty sure they're still pre-ordering or taking pre-orders for those systems. I don't understand how Xbox is selling out pre-orders, but hey, whatever. More power to Microsoft. Movie news. Vin Diesel. He was recently in a meeting with Marvel Studios to discuss a possible role in a future Marvel hero film. We don't know what it is. We just know that he feels as though the interview went well. He was very impressed and he's excited about whatever it is that they have planned for him. We don't know. Only Marvel knows. Vin Diesel probably doesn't even know. But that's just something to look forward to. We know that Mr. Strange movie is coming out. Ant-Man movie is coming out. There's several other movies that are going to be coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy. They have a large cast for Guardians of the Galaxy. So we'll see what movie he's going to be in if they actually cast him in a movie. Comic-Con is coming this week, I believe. Comic-Con is coming, and they're going to be bringing a lot of material to share with the public. Some things that I've been actually looking at. Marvel's TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That looks like a pretty decent, interesting TV show. It kind of reminds me of Heroes, but minus all the superheroes. It's going to be a few superheroes in that TV show, but I guess they're going to kind of focus on the unsung heroes, so to speak, of the Marvel Universe, which is the agents. They're going to be focusing more on them, and they're going to be, showing off just a couple superheroes here and there. We've seen previews of some heroes, but they haven't named them, so we don't know who they are. But it looks interesting. Days of Future Past, the X-Men movie that's supposed to be coming out very soon. That will also be at Comic-Con. Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass 2 will be at Comic-Con. I've been looking forward to that movie since the first Kick-Ass. I'm very excited about the direction that the director has taken this movie and this comic book series, and I'm excited to see how Kick-Ass and Hit Girl grow in the upcoming films. What else? Idris Elba. Idris Elba has been talking about being his own superhero. He plays a character in Thor, the first Thor. He plays the character Heimdall. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's basically the gatekeeper of the teleporter on Thor's homeworld that they use to travel between there and Earth. Idris Elba feels as though that character could possibly have his own standalone film. I'm not a huge Thor fan, so I didn't read the comics, but I'm not sure if that character is interesting enough to have his own standalone film, and that's just on my opinion. I'm not sure because, like I said, I haven't read the comic books, but there has been talks on the forums about him possibly picking up the roles of maybe the Black Panther or Luke Cage. Those seem like pretty good characters. The Black Panther, he's a pretty popular Marvel character, and Idris Elba he could probably fit the role for that character. The last subject that I want to talk about today is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's two things I want to talk about this movie, and number one, I'm going to show you guys the new cover picture or cover photo for The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Entertainment Magazine. It looks pretty awesome. It's featuring Spider-Man in his new costume and Electro. The first thing I really want to talk about is how it is that they can make a new Spider-Man movie so close to Spider-Man 3 that was out not too long ago. It was actually, I think it came out about 3 years ago. The Spider-Man 3 movie came out. And then they did the reboot titled The Amazing Spider-Man. Honestly, I can't forget I can never forget when I found out that the very first Spider-Man movie that was coming out, I can never forget when I watched that movie for the first time. I believe I was a freshman in high school. And when I heard that that game was coming out, I mean, that movie was coming out, I literally hit the ceiling. I was in class, I was online looking it up, and I got extremely excited because I've been waiting for a live action Spider-Man movie for the ever longest. I feel like I'm one of the biggest Spider-Man fans out there. Now, this reboot that they made, it's not taking away from the original movie. It's actually taking their origin story into a whole different direction. It's got a darker feel to it. And I really like the way that Mark Webb did this film. Even though it's a dark film, he managed to throw humor in there, and it really balanced out the film and made it a successful feature. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I almost like it almost as much as I like the first one. The first one was really good, but for some reason this one is kind of like right there, right above it just a little bit. And I guess it's because I like the way that they portrayed Spider-Man or Peter Parker in this film versus the first one. I thought that I'd never be able to see another person play Spider-Man other than Tobey Maguire, but then I look and I'm like, oh, Andrew Garfield, who's this guy? But he actually does a really, really fabulous job at playing the character, almost more so than, I just forgot his fucking name. Tobey Maguire. I think he did a better job than Tobey Maguire did, honestly. And the one moment that stands out in both of those movies that really defined it was when Uncle Ben died and Peter Parker made that, Tobey Maguire made that really, really retarded face when he was trying to cry and his face all smushed up, and I laughed. You're supposed to feel sad because Uncle Ben died, but I laughed at that point because his face was just retarded. I mean, Andrew Garfield, his crying scene wasn't that great either, but it was better. But, yeah, the second thing that I want to tackle is what Andrew Garfield actually said about the direction that he wants the film to go. He was talking about how he feels as though it would be a good idea to portray Peter Parker in a different light. And when I say that, I mean him exploring other avenues in his sexuality. And for those of you that don't really know what I'm saying, I mean, he wants Peter Parker to be gay / bisexual. Now, when I hear those words and then I hear Spider-Man mixed with it, it's like, what the hell? Like, why would you do that? Like, I sat there when I first read the article and I was like, is he on crack? Really? Gay Spider-Man? And then I was like, wait a minute. And I was having a conversation with my girlfriend and she was like, well, there could be a bigger picture here. It could be that Garfield is trying to juice up the fans in a way by saying that, by bringing negative publicity to positively lift up the film and the franchise that they have going right now. And I was like, that's not a bad idea, actually. Like, sometimes people think that it has to be positive publicity to make something better, but sometimes the negative, people say that you remember the negatives more than the positives, and I believe that's true. Someone could do a million positive things and do one negative thing, and everyone will remember that one negative thing. Now, Garfield doing this, I feel as though he has brought the Spider-Man fans in an uproar enough to talk about it so much that they're going to want to go see what happens next in the next movie. And I feel as though that's a really good idea, if that's exactly what he was trying to do. If he was actually thinking about making Spider-Man gay, I'm not even going to talk about that, because you don't just go and make a franchise or a character that's over 2 decades old and just change it completely. And yeah, you just don't do that. No, that's a bunch of tomfoolery, and I don't agree with it. Now, I have no problem with sexuality, race, creed, any of that stuff. So that's not the issue. The issue is you changing a character that's been one way for so long, and then changing it to something like the total opposite. He was like, oh man, Mary Jane should be a guy. Really? MJ should be a guy. And then he was saying that he wanted it to be Michael B. Jordan from The Wire. I never saw that show, so I don't know. But some black guy. Yeah, I don't even want to. I'm just gonna pretend that he did this to get your attention, all you Spider-Man fans, to get your attention and be like, hey, come watch the movie because it's gonna be great, and watch me talk about Spider-Man being gay and random shit that just doesn't make sense. But that's just my thoughts on it. If you have any thoughts, any comments, anything like that you want to talk about, just put it down in the comments section. Just let me know what you think about the things that I talked about today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys later.